Sure you click.
There we go. All right. All right, Card Nation, welcome back to another episode of Cardinal Craze. Today on the show, we have a very special guest, Coach Ledford, the former offensive line coach for the University of Louisville and the current offensive line coach for the Atlanta Falcons. Coach, how you doing?
Doing well. Doing well. Thanks for asking.
I'm glad you're doing well. We know that you've been moving out of Louisville and heading to Atlanta and getting set up. How has that transition process been for you?
It's going well. Leaving Louisville is going to be tough for the family. My wife, she had a wonderful support system there, a lot of close friends, and our kids were in a great school there. And so always when you're leaving, that's always tough, but, we're very excited about this opportunity to be a part of this organization, be a part of this staff that Coach Smith has put together here.
Well, that's great to hear. We're going to start with the first question. And that first question is, what's been the most challenging part of transitioning to the NFL for yourself and for your family?
Well, I think the toughest part right now is just being away from your family. It's when you're not settled. It's things are a lot easier when things are comfortable. When you got your house you're coming home to, your wife, your kids. And so anytime when there's something different about that, it's always a little bit more difficult and tougher. And then obviously when you're coming into a situation where you're learning new terminology, you're learning a lot of new things, which you're going to be doing. And so some of the stuff that you've been doing that for a really long time. And so now it's kind of just changing some things around, just a lot of it's just terminology. A lot of it's the same stuff, but just learning a new verbiage, basically with it. That's always a little bit difficult when you first start something like that as well.
Now, to follow that up, would you say not being in that recruiting aspect of it has been difficult to transition out of as well?
COVID, when all that hit last year, that really changed a lot with the recruiting. But it made us look at different ways in which we could recruit.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to use technology a lot doing so and trying to highlight and showcase what we had to offer at Louisville and as a program, and so that made it difficult with it, just because you want the kids to really get a feel and get to be around you, and the tough thing about, is like right now being here, everything that you're doing really is virtual with your players also. And so that's a difficult part is like the first time you're getting to introduce yourself or be around your players, it's virtual. It's not getting to be around them in person. And so because that's the thing that I always enjoyed is just that face-to-face interaction, just being around the guys, and just being there with the group. And so that's a difficult part about it when you're having to kind of do everything virtual and not being able to do it where you're getting to be there with them face to face, having that type of communication, just getting a great feel for one another.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And it must have been a hard transition for you guys as soon as COVID hit when you were at the University of Louisville. And for the most part, I'm glad that you have been making a good transition. I'm sorry that the language is a little different going into the NFL compared to college. We've heard that it's a complete 360 in several different situations. But I'm glad to see that you're transitioning well, and I'm glad that you've been able to adapt to this COVID world that we are now all a part of.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. It's something. The NFL is something that my wife and I, we've always wanted to have the opportunity to be able to pursue and to have that to coach at this level. And so, and when this opportunity came up, and getting to know the people that, like I said before, that's on the staff currently with us, and to be able to be a part of a program with Coach Smith, our head coach here, to have this opportunity, it's sometimes I have to pinch myself. So we're very fortunate and very lucky. We've been very blessed in being in the situations that we've been able to be in, and it's all about the people and being around a lot of great people, and that's the same thing when I was at Louisville with Coach Satterfield and the staff there. It's a lot of good people.
And, before we talk too much about Louisville, I wanted to ask you, it's got to be a pretty special moment to sit there for your first NFL draft as an NFL coach and, watching your team on the clock. What did that look like for you? How did you sit there and enjoy it? Were you on the phones? What did that first NFL draft look like for you as an Atlanta Falcon?
It's completely different. When you're recruiting and you're looking to get guys seeing their commitment day, and they're setting their commitments, and the hats that come out, and you're just hoping that they select. You're kind of being on the other side. And also, when you're coaching guys and you're kind of with them through the process, and you're even there with them as they go through the draft process, being their coach, now you're on the opposite side where you're doing the evaluations, you're kind of getting all the preparations ready for the draft, and just, going through with all the evaluations. And so it's completely different. It was a great experience. And it was definitely fun. It was definitely different. That's for sure.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that it was even though it was different, it was a fun moment for you, and it was a great moment in general for your career, because you had aspirations of going to the NFL that you may have mentioned at one point, correct?
Yeah, that's something I've always wanted to have the opportunity to be able to pursue, and to go out and try, to be able to go out and, as a player, you always wanted to be able to play at the highest level. And the same thing for me I wanted to build at the highest level, to be around at the professional level. And so to me, that's something that I've always wanted to have the opportunity, and very blessed to be able to do that right now.
Well, we're glad that you have that opportunity now, and you're going to showcase the world what you can do in the NFL, and even beyond that years later from now. So as a big bourbon connoisseur, what would you say is one of your more favorable distilleries to visit?
Well, the COVID season we had last year, the pandemic that had a lot of. The thing about Louisville last year is like the year of the concert for us. Like, there were a lot of great concerts coming into the city, and that my wife and I, we had planned on trying to attend. And also, we were trying to knock out a lot of the distilleries there on the Bourbon Trail. And so we actually haven't been out to a lot of them, just a handful. And, they're all very unique, just, unbelievable places, pretty special, just beautiful, just the countryside, or even like a place like Angel's Envy, like the building that it's in downtown, just the beautiful locations, and just, obviously each and every one has their own story. And that's the thing about it. When you go into one of them, you kind of hear their story, that's the thing I like about it.
And what's your favorite bourbon? If you have a drink of choice, what are you pouring? Do you have a favorite?
I hard to pinpoint one. I've always been like, when we visited Angel's Envy, I've enjoyed that, the Angel's Envy. But I'd be hard pressed to just pinpoint one. But that's the one that if you had to ask me, I would reply with Angel's Envy.
That's a good answer, Coach.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to go to Angel's Envy and definitely try all of what they have at this point. But
now, it sounds to me like you might be bringing somebody that was maybe around the Bourbon Trail here to Atlanta, and that guy happens to go by Javion Hawkins. How excited are you to potentially have him in your offense and rolling together with your boys up front?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Hawkins, he's a special running back there at Louisville for those 2 years, and just seeing the things that the big play capability that he has. He's got great speed. He's a tough player. So definitely excited about getting to see him. Talk to him the other night on the phone. It was a fun conversation that we had, because, pretty much everybody on that team, like when you talk to, everybody's dream is they want to go to that next level. and you get to hear it. And you get to see guys do it, and chase it. And now when you get to be on the side of it to where you see these guys actually getting the opportunity to step out onto the field, it's pretty special. And so we have the rookies will be coming in this week, and so it'll be fun to get to see him. Wow,
that's fantastic.
That is just super fantastic. So we're going to change gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about Louisville. So while being a recruiter for the University of Louisville, what were some of your favorite things about Louisville to share with recruits and their families?
I think, like I said before, I think it starts with, when a place is special, I think it starts with the people. And when you came around to Louisville, I remember when I played when I coached at another ACC school, we came and played at Louisville. The atmosphere was electric. It's just very loud. We played twice at Louisville. And, the first time Lamar was here, the second time, but just the place was electric. And you drive in, see all the facilities, all the facilities throughout a lot of the different sports, all the different venues lined up on Floyd Street. And so you're like, man, this place has a big investment in their athletics here. You just see everything kind of lined up with it. And then when you come and you actually get to see and meet the people, you get to see the passion that the people carry for the union. And to me, that's where it's about the people. People make the place. I think a lot of great been around the program have touched it, and it's the fans are so passionate, and that's the thing that you told recruits, like, come up and you actually say, everybody can say that, but when you get up and you actually get to feel it and see the passion that the fans have, it's pretty special.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, you have definitely recruited me. I'm ready to come to the Ville at this point.
You're already here, man.
I know.
Now, are you still communicating with any current or past players and coaches from U of L? I would hope you're still talking to Coach Satterfield, man. That's your guy, but.
Oh yeah, like Coach Satt. Now we FaceTimed the other day. He was down here in Atlanta playing in that golf at a Chick-fil-A tournament, I think it was.
Yep.
And so we got we were able to get on FaceTime with each other for a little bit. But Coach Satt's very special to great man. Can't say enough great things about and his family, and so when I got the job here at Atlanta, Louisville was about to start spring ball, and so they would practice on Saturday. And so on the weekends, when we didn't have anything going on, I was driving or flying back to Louisville. So I actually got to come out and watch a lot of practice. It's kind of unique because I was able to bring my 7-year-old son out to football practice. And great thing about Coach Satterfield, a lot of people talk about family, but Coach Satt actually lives it, and when he says it's about family. And so I'm out there with, and got to go out there and actually be with my son as a parent and not as a coach, I wasn't working. I was able to just get on it and kind of explain to him, like, this is what the quarterback's doing over here. Like, this is what the running backs are doing over here. Watch how it comes all together now, and we got a bunch of, I say there's a lot of great players there at Louisville, just great kids. Mm-hmm. So Malik and a bunch of the guys, they would come over and toss the ball with them and play with them and stuff like that. And so it's very unique to be able to come back as, coming to watch practice. Because obviously I know all the coaches extremely well, all the players, but just to be out there to see his interaction with the players and stuff like that was pretty special. So I got to do that quite a lot during spring ball. I bet you I got to watch probably about 3 practices, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. So if there's one thing that you could specifically take out of Coach Satterfield that maybe a whole lot of people may not know about him, what would that be?
No, man, I always tell people
He's a good golfer. Sounds like.
he is a good golfer. We had a lot of fun times out on the golf course. Me, Coach Seriano, and he and Coach Thomas would play and have a good time. But he is. I tell people all the time, like he's a dude, like not somebody that around. And I mean, when you meet him, like he's just an everyday person. Just he's approaching. He's going to care about like knowing about your family, knowing kids, and so to me that's the thing about him. Like it's that he is special, and it's just the way he treats, and it's when he was coming, Coach Moore, it was kind of that's what he had always been used to, and it was always about the people, about the people in the organization. It was about everybody that touched the program. And, and a lot of people, you can say a lot of things, put things up on the wall. But, for Coach Sad, I think it's right in the right place, and it's hard. And so you get the genuine, just a true good person, man. So, like I said, I can go on and talk a lot about him.
Well, I'll let you go on a little bit more, and you might have already touched on it, but in your opinion, what is it that separates Coach Satterfield from the rest of the Power 5 coaches out there? What is it that just is so different?
He's very competitive. He wants to win, but at the same time, he's got an easygoing personality to where the players, I think, they gravitate towards him. Like they want to play hard for him, and they feel his trust. They feel his family. As far as I'm talking about, a lot of people will put all those sayings on the walls, but I think with Coach Sad, you actually feel it. We would tell that to recruits all the time. Like, everybody talks about family, but when you come and visit us, you're going to feel it. Like it's sincere here. And I think just with Coach Ledford, you got just a person, and me, that's what makes him really special.
He lives what he walks the walk, talks the talk, he does it all, and he lives it.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I just cannot wait to meet him now. So to change things up a little bit, do you have any special or funny moments with a player, with a former player, or maybe a recruit that you can share with Card Nation?
Oh man,
could be a coach too.
Well, I think that if you'll have plenty of stories to kind of tell. But I mind me. I mean, there's been a lot of special memories and just fun times that we've had. One thing about that is always about you can never take the aspect of having fun. Once you take the fun, it's harder now. And so, and that's the great thing about Coach, about having fun, keeping the fun. And so there's a lot of good stories we have like that. And, and that's a testament to him, and just another one of those things where that stain on the wall is actually something that he lives and he wants to see.
Well, I'm glad to hear that Coach Satterfield keeps the fun, and I'm glad that the atmosphere is just energetic in general, and the fact that he's down to earth kind of guy. I mean, he sounds like the best phenomenal coach I've ever heard, ever, to be quite honest.
Well, we have a good coach sitting here too.
Definitely.
Coach, I know a big green egg when I see one. And I'm pretty confident I saw you working on that big green egg quite a few times. Am I wrong?
No, it's in the summertime when we get our time off. I try to cook on every day of the week, and that's something where I've always enjoyed being outside and grilling. And my wife, she got me a green egg on one Father's Day when I was in Raleigh, fell in love with it and just really enjoyed it. So I got rid of the gas grill once I started cooking on it. And to me, it's just the green egg. It teaches you, like, you can't be in a hurry and cook on it. And so it makes you be, to me, it's relaxing. It teaches patience. You can't just throw anything on it. You kind of got to prepare it out. It's starting a fire. It's keeping the right temperature. And so to me, I just love every aspect of it. It's very, I love the food that comes off of it, obviously. I'm an offensive lineman at heart, always will be. So I like to eat. And so I love the food that comes off of it. But I enjoy just the eating and being on it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And so I wanted to ask, so we know your wife is quite the baker when it comes to cookies. So we hear, is she now baking lots of cookies now that you're in the NFL? Is she getting ready for all those offensive linemen to come over on Thursday nights and just hang out and eat cookies?
Yeah, I tell you, I wish that ever since when we started that, I wish I would have kept count of how many cookies have actually come out of that oven. One year we did count. She kept counting during the season, and I forgot the number. But it was way up there. And so but I tell you what, I love them. They're good.
Do you think you'd be willing to share that secret recipe at any point?
That is something that you got to take up with her. And, but it's it's funny, man, when those guys are over the house and all of a sudden you can smell them when they're cooking, and you got to get them at the right temperature. You got to let them come out of the oven, and sometimes you want to eat it too soon, but they're a little too high. You got to give it like a minute or so, and then they're good, man. They're really good. But I was the benefactor of some cookies this past weekend also, which was nice.
Hey, that's great to hear.
It was good. So that's the good thing about it is whenever that does happen, I usually get quite a few myself. So
that's
getting them on Mother's Day too, man. What a lucky guy.
Oh yeah.
So, while you were in Louisville, what were your favorite spots to eat at? Did you ever find just a couple favorite places that you always went to?
There's quite a few. I really liked Lemieux. I liked that place a lot, and I thought it was very good. I enjoyed any time we would go to Jeff Ruby's to eat when we were going downtown. I thought very good as well. I love the Post Pizza. Mm-hmm. I think that place is really good. Muscles Burgers, I think is the name of it, is very good as well. And there's quite a few places I like a lot. Roosters, we use those guys every week when we were doing wings and stuff like that. And so I really like those as well. Mama's Barbecue, really good. And so a lot of good places, man. That's for sure. There's not a shortage of good restaurants in Louisville.
Oh, most definitely.
That's
Did you
so
ever,
funny, Roosters, I always like to look back at that. I had my, what you would call, I guess, like a baby shower for guys at Roosters. And, Scott showed up and Coach Max showed up. And I was wondering where you were, man. I just didn't see you around. Even the wives were around.
I got to ask Sad about that. I don't know why I didn't get an invite for that one, man.
It was perfect timing.
So to change things back up to football, I wanted to ask, who on this year's Louisville team do you think might have a breakout season?
That's there's obviously going to be some holes, a lot of production, especially when you look at the offensive side, that has to be filled. I'm telling you, I think, obviously my eyes are always going to tend to go to the offensive line first. Trevor Reed is somebody I think that has a lot of potential, and that everybody is very excited about there. And from what I've read, like he's had a very good spring. He's a great kid, and so I think that he's a guy that he played just a little bit last year, but maybe where he's in a bigger role this year, so you're going to see a lot more of him. But I think that could be one of those players that could be a breakout guy for them.
Well, that's awesome. And, one of the most phenomenal things that we heard about Trevor Reed was he can do backflip. That's one of the first things that caught everyone's attention, and how fast he is and how strong he can be. Honestly, he's one of our top players to have a breakout season. But for the most part, would you say any of the incoming freshmen, either Aaron or Michael, do you think both of them might have a good breakout year possibly?
I'm very excited to see those guys, and just, obviously Michael was there. He came in and enrolled and the spring practice that I was able to watch, I thought that he did really well. Okay. And, he's somebody that we were very excited about. Same thing with Aaron. I got to see Michael a little bit for spring ball with it, but I think both those guys are great people, and that I look forward to watching them. It's going to be exciting and fun to watch those guys play. That's for sure.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. So
going to be different this year. See, the first game of the season, Louisville playing against Ole Miss at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So might be a game according to how our schedule sets up to where might be able to get over there and watch the game, man, as a spectator. So
I'm sure your son would love that.
I mean, that would just be awesome. Just being there on the ground floor, just maybe not being able to participate to a coaching level, but just being a prospect and just being going back and supporting those guys. That's just amazing to hear that you want to be able to do that. And we're just so happy just in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is it that you'll remember the most about coaching in the great city of Louisville? Where is your mind going to think about when you think about your tenure here?
You never know how it's the people that we came across. I couldn't tell you how many times I somewhere or I would be. It's kind of like the story that you guys were mentioning, just people coming up and introducing themselves and just saying really nice things to my family and myself. And you don't have to do that, but I think it's special, and it just kind of goes to show you the people that, like I said before, surrounds the program, that follows the program. That are really like they invest everything to the program, means something to them, and just to feel that, and you just feel the sincerity, and that's pretty special, And anywhere it could have been going into the grocery store or picking up my son up from school and running to someone there at the school or something like that. So to me, when you have that, and it was just you had it a lot, show you the amount of people that are passionate about the program, passionate about the university there. I think that's pretty special.
It really is. Now, one of the final questions we're going to have for you is, what would you say to any young guys considering Louisville for the next chapter in football?
It's I'm kind of past this recruiting piece now, so being here, but it's I know it kind of probably sounds redundant because I keep saying it, but to me it's about people. When you look at Coach Saturday, and it's about being around and being taken care of, being treated as you're one of theirs, and somebody that's going to be there not only athletically, but also be there academically and socially throughout your career. And that's going to be vested. It's going to be interested in your development, and being in a city in which it's a big city. It's got a great downtown. It's got a lot of things around. It's got a big community, and it touches a lot. And so it's not a college thing. I mean, it's the city. And so, and there's not a professional football team or, in the city. You are the show. And so, and it's you can see, and so when you get around the program, you feel the passion of the fans, you feel the energy that they have, and then you get around the Coach Satterfield staff, and you feel that family. You feel that these guys really care about each other. They care about me as a person. I think that's when you have something pretty special there.
That's just fantastic to hear. I'm so excited to, just be able to watch your tenure here and enjoy it. And I think all of us would love to say thank you for everything that you gave to the University of Louisville, as we're all big fans, and Card Nation just appreciates everything you did. And I know we're excited to watch your future, but, got to ask, you think you'll be coming back to visit it sometime soon?
Oh, we'll definitely be coming back with it. There's no question about that. We'll definitely, when we get the opportunity to come back up there, we'll definitely be back. There's no question about it.
Well, we're glad to hear that. And definitely when you do come back, let us all know. We'll get Scott Satterfield. We'll go out to the golf course, and maybe we'll be able to figure out who's the best golfer.
Oh, no, I like the whole Jeff Ruby's comment. I'm a big fan of that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. And
yes, of course.
You guys have done. And, if there's anything I could ever do on my end, feel free to reach out. And on Sundays, you guys just got to pull for the Falcons. Now, you got to do also. I know it's you got the Cardinals every day of the week. On Sunday, it's time to put on the Falcons hat, and let's get a lot of Falcons fans up there in Louisville going.
Oh, most definitely. And thank you so much, Coach, from the bottom of our hearts. We really appreciate you coming out here talking to us. And if there's anything we can do, maybe do some hype up videos for you and the Falcons, let us know. We're available most days of the week. But we'll do the closing segment here, and then we can talk afterwards. All right, well, Card Nation, this has been Coach Dwayne Ledford, current offensive line coach for the Atlanta Falcons, former offensive line coach for Louisville, and offensive coordinator. Coach Ledford, thank you so much for coming on the show, talking to us today, giving us your insight into your perspective from the Ville, you being here, your friends who are still here coaching. Thank you so much for giving us your opinion on how much you loved and appreciated people in the Ville and being here. But until next time, this has been Cardinal Craze, and go Cards.
Go Cards.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.